Thanks for watching the NCW.
What do you think so far? False start happens. It's live TV. We work without a net. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I'm Dan Kuntz, your host. Tuesday, 27th day of February, 2024. Very pleasant morning, 28 degrees. Bit on the cool side. Weather all this week is going to be just all over the place. Very interesting weather yesterday. We got up to 43 degrees. That was about the noon hour, and then it got colder in the afternoon hours. Usually don't see that as that first wave system came through. There's another one poised, going to pay us a visit overnight tonight and a Wednesday. Passes are going to get hammered with snow. This is a good time to go now because things are going to deteriorate travel-wise in the Cascades rather rapidly tonight. It's basically in the mountain passes, Stevens, Snoqualmie, Blewett, but especially Stevens and I-90. It's going to start snowing tonight pretty good, and it ain't going to stop till like Friday. They're going to be measuring the snow up in the Cascades in feet. Unsettled down here, too, with the temperatures going every which way. It's still February, it's still winter, and we'll still have a forecast for you. In just a couple of minutes, the latest news headlines will come your way. Big victory for the Kraken last night. They have a tendency to play to the level of their competition. When they play one of the good teams in the NHL, they play good. When they play the lousy teams, they play lousy. It's kind of like my golf game. But they won in a shootout over Boston. Highlights of that. And in the back half of the program, we want to give Carol Andre one more dose of love because the Washington State Special Winter Olympic Games is this weekend right here in the big city, and the call for volunteers continues as they can't pull this off without people donating their time to bring this huge event to the Wenatchee Valley. So Carol will be joining me in the back half of the program to put out the call one more time. Just a couple of hours, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, whatever you can spare for the Washington State Special Olympics Winter Games. Carol Andre from the City of Wenatchee's Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Services Department. Let's begin our tour around the valley. 29 degrees here in the big city, so we do have a few clouds hanging around. Now, these longer days, though, I'm liking this. 6:45 sunrise this morning, sunset tonight 5:42, 10 hours and 57 minutes of daylight. We're gaining a little over 3 minutes of daylight every day, and we have been for the last week or so. We'll be over the 11-hour mark of daylight tomorrow. We like that. Yesterday's high, by the way, as I mentioned before, 43. Our normal high is 46. I ain't going to get to 46 today. We will tomorrow. Let's check out up to McNeil Canyon and see what the lake looks like. It looks something like this. Good morning to Lake Chelan. You can barely make out the three fingers on your left and just a little piece of Chelan proper on the far left-hand side of your screen. Outside of that, there is beautiful Chelan from McNeil Canyon looking over the ridge towards Chelan proper. The Waterville camera is pointed towards Chelan. This is up on the Waterville Plateau, and we have it pointed to the northwest, so that's going towards the Chelan area. You can just make out the Columbia River. In fact, we could, if we turned the Upper Butte camera on and turned it around, those two cameras can actually see each other. You can actually see the Upper Butte. I think it may have just switched to color. Hard to tell there. So good morning to our friends up in the Waterville area. And the Rock Island camera looks pretty good. That has enough daylight for that to be in color. A friend of mine played golf this weekend at the Rock Island Golf Course. Might be a little cool for that today. Good morning to Rock Island. Good morning to Malaga across the river, and Mission Ridge still hanging in there with lots of snow, but they could use a little more. You can never have enough there. Speaking of snow, next round of snow up in the Cascades going to be pounded with snow. Lots of snow, little skiff around the Leavenworth Plain area, but basically in the upper elevations, 3,500 feet and above, it's going to start snowing. It's snowing right now, but it's not too bad in the mountain passes. But tonight, all the way through Friday, it's going to snow pretty much. Pretty consistent. Also some windy conditions at times out in the Columbia Basin and here in the Wenatchee Valley. As far as the winds are concerned, most of that's going to be relegated to Wednesday and Thursday, but we're going to see a few gusts come in. There's a system that's working its way down. Just right now, it's off the coast of British Columbia. It'll be visiting us overnight tonight into Wednesday, but the real impact on this is going to be Wednesday night into Thursday. Snow level is going to go down there quite a bit, and we'll have quite a bit of wind at times as well. So all over the place weather-wise. And here's what it looks like in detail from the National Weather Service. Pretty quiet today. Lots of clouds, cooler than normal temperatures. We'll top off to about 40, so we're not going to warm up to normal anyway. Tonight, slight chance of snow. Snow level is going to be about 1,800 feet. I don't think we're going to get any. If anything, we'll maybe have a little bit of rain. Overnight low right about the freezing mark in the valley. 32 degrees, which is actually above normal. Wednesday, chance of rain is right at 50%. Snow level is going to be at about 4,000 feet. Going to snow to beat the band up in the Cascades under mostly cloudy skies, warmer than normal. High of 51. Then we go back down to normal with some rain. Rain overnight Wednesday night, rain in the morning hours on Thursday with a forecast high of 46 Thursday night. Snow level is going to go way down. It's going to go down to the valley floor level, about 800 feet, but there's no storm system associated with that. So even though the snow level is going to be at the valley floor, no precipitation in the forecast Thursday night with an overnight low of 29. Into the weekend we go. Friday, partly cloudy, maybe a rain-snow mix with a high of 43. Saturday, cloudy, a little bit of light rain, a high of 42. Then we jump up to sunshine and slightly warmer temperatures on Sunday and Monday. We're kind of all over the place. All right, that's the forecast. Take a break. When we come back, the news. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
A ductless unit from Carrier can keep anyone comfortable. Take Shelly, for instance. She finds me time in her new attic-turned-home gym. And with her Carrier ductless unit, the temperature is always perfect. No matter how intense her workout gets. Carrier. Total comfort, totally happy.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Alpine Air. Heat and air, call Alpine Air.
Come see how very different you will feel in your Bullfrog Spa.
It's the 2024 KPQ Home Expo presented by Localtel, March 8th through 10th. Bring the family down to the Town Toyota Center and check out North Central Washington's largest free home show. Enter to win a season pass to the Super Oval or even an e-bike from Nelson Motorsports. Make sure to stop by Localtel's booth for a chance to win amazing prizes. It's more than just a show, it's the KPQ Home Expo.
Most of us are in touch with the internet in one way or another all day long. A fast, secure connection matters. It keeps us entertained, informed, and in touch. Localtel cares about your connection. We know strong, reliable internet with your choice of speed makes life better. If you need fast, reliable internet, or maybe an upgrade, or you just have questions, connect with us by visiting localtel.com or call 509-888-8888 today.
Sun's peeking through the clouds just a little bit. It's 28 degrees. Sun will be taking the day off today. Lower 40s for the afternoon high. A little rain-snow mix possible, but no real accumulations expected. The weather will just be unsettled. Significant snow in the upper elevations and a little breezy at times this week as well. It's 9 minutes after the hour. The man arrested last week for an East Wenatchee murder has been fired. His employment terminated by Chelan County. The firing was effective last Friday. According to paperwork, 34-year-old Travis Collins was employed by Chelan County in their public works department. He was a truck driver and a laborer. He was based with the Leavenworth Road crew. Collins is being held on a $2 million bond in the Chelan County Regional Justice Center. He faces charges of murder, assault, and robbery for the February 1st shooting death of 35-year-old Julio Cesar Garcia Ramirez. According to court records, Collins had arranged to purchase cocaine from Garcia Ramirez in the 1700 block of Rock Island Road. Garcia Ramirez was later found dead of a gunshot wound alongside his running pickup. Collins was arrested last Monday by the East Cascade SWAT team at his home off Highway 2 in Leavenworth. State Representative Jacqueline Maycomber has thrown her hat into the ring. She's going to seek the 5th Congressional District seat that's being vacated by U.S. Congresswoman Kathy McMorris Rogers. Maycomber has represented the 7th District in the state legislature since 2017. That district encompasses a lot of Douglas and Grant counties. In announcing her candidacy, Maycomber says she has the, quote, heart of a servant and the spirit of a warrior, end quote. She said she's committed to protecting constitutional rights and preserving the Snake River dams. The 5th Congressional District covers a lot of eastern Washington, west into Grant County, east to the Idaho border, and south down to Walla Walla. And the Tri-Cities, McMorris Rogers announced February 8th she would not be seeking re-election. The Wenatchee Valley Museum and Cultural Center going to be chock full of artwork in the not too distant future, all of it made by students right here in our area. The 45th annual Regional High School Art Show opens this Friday with the 20th annual Beauty of Bronze. The high school art show will show a variety of art mediums, including drawing, painting, photography, and the Beauty of Bronze showcases children's sculpture work. Visitors will vote on their favorites for the People's Choice Awards, which will be presented at the end of the exhibit. Artwork will also be judged by local artists and move on to the annual Superintendent's High School Art Show that's held in Olympia every year. Both the original High School Art Show and the Beauty of Bronze starts this Friday, and runs through Saturday, April 6th. A lot of people ate a lot of crab at the Wenatchee Valley Senior and Activities Center on Saturday, the 10th of February, and they raised a lot of money, more than $30,000 for the expansion and remodeling of the Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center. The center is trying to raise $400,000 in matching funds for the $4 million project. The Beauty for the Build crab feed on February 10th was attended by more than 150 people. It was a tropical themed dinner. They had live music, they had auctions, a lot of people dressed as pirates. It was a tropical theme, after all. The expansion project includes a 6,500 square foot space they want to add to the rear of the building. That's where the thrift shop will eventually move to. The goal is to start the work in the spring of 2025 for completion at the end of the year. The Washington State University Chelan Douglas Master Gardeners program going to be at the KPQ Home Expo, as they always are, with more things happening. As a matter of fact, they will be there March 8th through the 10th at the Town Toyota Center. The gardening seminars will take place in the Crunch Pack room. It'll cover topics such as botany, soil, pesticides, pruning, plant diagnosis, weed identification, and more. The Master Gardener Foundation of Chelan Douglas counties will also have representatives to sell gardening books and gardening tools. All the proceeds, by the way, benefit the local Master Gardener projects. And for the 34th year, the Winter Special Olympic Games returns to the Wenatchee Valley. It starts Friday, runs through Sunday. The Polar Plunge gets things going. That will be at Walla Walla Point Park on Friday afternoon. Following that, opening ceremonies at the Town Toyota Center. Unfortunately, for just the second time since 1990, cross-country skiing and snowshoeing outside Leavenworth can't do it. Not enough snow to do it. Local organizer Carol Andre told me that volunteers are very much needed.
There's so many opportunities helping at opening ceremonies. During the opening ceremony, we literally staged 1,500 athletes and their coaches and chaperones in the corridor for the parade of athletes, just like the Olympic Games. And it takes a whole lot of people to help do that. It's organized chaos, but it's a ton, but it's so much fun. It's super easy. Just go to SpecialOlympicsWashington.org, click on volunteers and Winter Games, and it'll have a drop down of all 3 days and all the opportunities there are. There's so many different things. If you just want to volunteer to score keep it basketball for 4 hours here, you can do it. If you want to do all 3 days, you can do it. If you want to ski, I mean, there's something for everyone.
And again, my complete conversation with Carol will air in the back half of this morning's program. And now you know what the heck's going on. If you continue to want to know what the heck's going on, watch the evening news at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock, 5, 6, and 10. That's on TV. If you consume your television without watching TV, it can be done nowadays. Our news will be up and running at right around 5 o'clock or so this afternoon on our homepage and CWLife.com, our YouTube page, our Facebook page, our app, and that's how you download the app, by the way, that QR code right there. Just go ahead and pick up your phone and get it done. And if something out there you think warrants our attention or you just want to comment, Send us an email, news@ncwlife.com. And don't forget, if you want to comment on this particular program, I accept all kinds of constructive criticism so long as it's unqualified praise. Still to come, sports, the obscure holiday, today in history, some celebrity birthdays, my conversation with Carol, and everyone's entitled to Mike Magnotti's opinion. You're watching the Tuesday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
At Boswell's, take 10% off our extensive collection of stressless recliners and sofas, or get $400 off stressless Max and Mike recliners in luxurious Paloma leather, or classic power base recliners in any cover. Plus, get 10% off the new Stressless Sky customizable luxury mattress. Shop Boswell's, 2915 Easy Street in Wenatchee.
Now there are even more reasons to meet at the Pybus Market. Outdoor dining and tastings, the fabulous Farmers Market, Saturday artisans on the concourse, and your favorites all week long. No matter the reason, it's always time to meet at the Pybus Market. Pybus Market, where community meets.
At Confluence Health, our mission is clear: to provide exceptional care for our community. We believe in healthcare that's personal and local because we're just like you, members of this great community.
We are Confluence.
Local care by and for our community.
Local care by and for our community.
Local care by and for our community.
We are Confluence.
Around here, Jack Frost nips more than just your nose. That's why people here drive Honda. Dependable all-wheel drive with traction control, with heated steering wheel and seats to keep Jack Frost off your seat, which will make it very happy. And since it's no fun to fill up in this weather, isn't it cool that Honda is known for legendary fuel efficiency? Great deals are here now, and so is Mr. Frost. So see your Inland Northwest Honda dealer today. Honda can handle it.
17 minutes after the hour, Kaylor Yamamoto scored the only goal in a shootout. It was a crazy game, but Seattle overcomes David Pasternak's hat trick, and they beat the Bruins 4-3 last night. Jordan Eberle, Vince Dunn, and Oliver Bjorkstrand also scored for Seattle. They had to twice come from behind to tie the game, and Philip Grubauer denied all three Bruin shootout attempts.
To the point, Borgen to play it off a body off Boquist. Here come the Bruins. Pasternak's in. He scores 700 points for David Pastrnak, and he breaks the ice.
Wasn't a play where they actually got set up, and Eberle was able to take one and move and drive right towards the front of the net. And
how about it? Pinball Wizard. They'll take it. Jordan Eberle has another goal. Back to back to back. We go with him. It's a power play goal. The Kraken have tied it.
Anyway, they come here, and Allmark trying to send that puck all the way down, and it's the pressure from Eberle. Moves to the inside. The puck hits him, and right there, the backhand just tips that one back into the net. Allmark not able to dive back, and a mistake there on the goalie handle.
Below the line, Marchand and Schwartz can't get it out. McAvoy off Borgen, off his skate. Zacha, Pavel Zacha in front. They score. David Pastrnak, his second goal tonight. 2:52 left in the second period. Boston.
You get the puck right here, and ends up going off of Schwartz, not able to get the puck out. Ends up going down. Zacha with some good work behind the goal line. End up making a backhand pass. It looks like it's through the legs of Borgen right here onto the tape of Pastrnak, and not a whole lot Grubauer can do there. It's in the back of the net. By the time he reacts, does look like it maybe glances off of Grubauer's shoulder, but not the player you want taking that shot from that location all alone.
Lohrei crossed over, and he knew he had him to the outside. Just a brilliant move. That's what Berkey's playing at his best. He can make something happen when nothing's going on.
Burakovsky has it again. Dunn scores! Back to back to back. Vince Dunn gets it done. 14:31 left. The Kraken have tied it.
Yanni goes in. It's a 50-50 battle. He pulls it back on the second effort. Burakovsky gets it, takes his strides to the middle. You have to respect. You see two Boston Bruins going toward Burakovsky. That leaves Dunn open. Geeky's not able to get over in time. You like the screens battling to the front of the net. And Dunn, again, with another shot, finding the 20.
Her counts tied at 2. Marchand will glove it. Will go down. Bjorkstrand. Wenberg pulls up. One-timer. Borgen scores! With traffic out in front, Oliver Bjorkstrand was on the doorstep. Cue the maestro. Bjorkstrand gets the goal. 5:30 left. 3-2. Seattle.
Great job going to the front of the net, but a nice little pass. Setting it up, timing it perfectly right inside that blue line. Borgen coming in off the change. The one-timer, and you get a clear look right there on the Mick delivery. Super Mo, that puck deflects off Oliver Bjorkstrand right out in front. Up over the glove side of Linus Ullmark.
Love the patience from Alex Wenberg to stop up.
Knocked down by Zacha. Here's Marchand. Off the stick of Larson, located by Tanev. He's hurried up by Zacha. Marchand creeps in. Pasternak shoots it. They score! David Pasternak picks an opening. Kelly Tolvanen, 6 seconds left in overtime. Beniers, Tolvanen stopped by Ullmark. And that'll do it. We go to shootout. He will swoop in on Linus Ullmark. Delay a bit. And score! Tyler Yamamoto makes it look easy.
Just the patience. Waiting out, Ullmark going nice and slow, dragging that puck, just waiting for
2 goals in regulation for one of the best shooters and scorers in the league. David Pasternak is the final hope. Stopped by Grubauer. That's Kraken hockey, baby. The Kraken get it done in the shootout, and tonight they defeat the Bucks.
Coach Dave Haxtell after the game said it was a nice comeback considering last Saturday night against Minnesota they laid a big fat egg.
You know, we played the way we expected to play. You know, we're pretty disappointed of the outcome of the hockey game and some of the things that we did that we were our own worst enemy. So that wasn't the case tonight. Tonight, you know, we played against a good hockey team and we had to survive some situations, and you know, there's some areas that you know, we'd like to be a little bit cleaner in, but the bottom line is our level never really changed throughout the game. We competed very hard. You know, the confidence level was good, and again, you know, timely plays, timely saves, timely plays, collectively and individually, and that gets it done for a big 2 points.
Kraken continue their season-long 6-game homestand on Thursday. The Penguins will be in town 7 o'clock on Root Sports. So the Kraken won a game that counts. The Mariners won a game that didn't count. Mariners picked up their first win of spring training, a 2-0 shutout of a split squad Reds team. Making his first start of the spring, right-hander Louis Castillo looked good. Tossed 2 hitless innings, a walk and a strikeout. Cole Young's first hit of the spring, his first ever, as a matter of fact, in a Cactus League game, drove in the Mariners only 2 runs of the game. The Mariners travel to Scottsdale this afternoon to take on the Giants. All right, you want to head to Spokane or Yakima to watch state basketball? It gets going on tomorrow, but we'll start with the 2A. Ellensburg looking for their 3rd consecutive 2A state championship. They're already in the quarterfinals, and on Thursday at 10:30 in the morning, they'll take on the winner of Sammamish and White River. For Kashmir, they're in Yakima. They take on Toppenish tomorrow night at 9 o'clock in the evening. Loser is out of that game, and the winner moves on to the quarterfinals. And the 2B is Tenaska versus Napavine. That's Wednesday at 2 o'clock in Spokane. It's a loser-out game. The winner of that game will take on Brewster on Thursday. Okanagan will take on Clayel and Roslyn tomorrow at 9 a.m. That's early to play basketball. That's a loser-out game. The winner of that game will take on Colfax on Thursday. And in the girls 1B bracket, Elmira Cooley Heartline will take on Garfield Palouse Wednesday at 7:15 in the evening. That's a loser-out game. The winner of that game will take on Waterville Mansfield on Thursday. And finally, can't forget about the boys 2B. Also in Spokane, Tonasca takes on Turtle Lake Wednesday at 3:45. That is a loser-out game. The winner of that game will take on Lake Roosevelt on Thursday. And those are just some of the games that people are playing on this Tuesday. Obscure holidays, there's a bunch. If you want to celebrate it, you can. It's National Pokemon Day. It's World Spay Day. National Retro Day. It's National Strawberry Day. Why it's in February, I don't know. It's National Kahlua Day. Kahlua Day. Maybe I had some Kahlua this morning. It's No Brainer Day. But no, we love our friends, the polar bears. Look at the little cute polar bear. Polar bears, of course, they're where they live is up in the Arctic, and it's melting. They live on the ice packs. In the warm summer months, they have a tendency to root through your garbage. Bears are the biggest bears, of course, in the world. There's a huge difference between full-grown male polar bears and female polar bears. They're basically twice the size. Male polar bears can weigh up to 1,700 pounds. Female polar bears top off at less than half that, only about 600 pounds. Polar bears' bodies, as you might imagine, are designed to live in the cold. They have about 4.5 inches of fat, a layer of fat, 4.5 inches. That's a big, heavy coat. A polar bear's skin is actually translucent. It looks white because it reflects all the whiteness around it between the ice and the sun. So it's actually translucent, and the skin underneath the polar bear's fur is actually black, so it can soak up the heat and keep it there. Bears are excellent swimmers. They can swim a long, long way. They hunt, but they only eat what they hunt about 2% of the time. Most of the time they'll eat carcasses of seals and birds and any other things they can get a hold on. They do hunt, but they have a tendency not to be very good at it, but they still eat. Polar bears can smell their prey for over a mile. That is pretty good. Female polar bears hibernate. Male polar bears do not hibernate, but the males make up for it by sleeping 20 hours a day. Happy National Polar Bear Day. If we don't do our due diligence, ain't gonna have no place to live no more. 27 minutes after the hour. Today in history, Abraham Lincoln was beginning to become a national figure in 1860. The Republican convention wasn't until May. He had served in Congress out of Illinois as part of the Whig Party in the 1840s, so he wasn't exactly completely unknown. But on this date at Cooper Union, an auditorium in Manhattan in New York City, Abraham Lincoln gave a speech in front of a packed house, and it skyrocketed his political profile and the attention, and everybody started talking about this Abe guy. He may have some interesting ideas. He says, we're done with slavery. We're gonna keep slavery from expanding out into the West, and he believed in infrastructure and all that other stuff. A lot of historians think that this speech, which made him a national figure, is largely responsible for him getting elected. He gave his famous, it's a very good speech. You can read the entire speech, by the way, online, his famous Cooper Union speech in New York City 164 years ago today. And let me see if I get this straight. Franklin Delano Roosevelt broke precedent in 1940, ran for a third term, was overwhelmingly elected, FDR was. So now that president was broken, he's going to run. He ran again in 1944, beat the Depression, led us to victory in World War II, but Congress said we can't be having these four-term presidents anymore. February 27, 1951, 73 years ago today, the 22nd Amendment to the Constitution goes into effect. It limits the President of the United States to 2 terms. It's ratified on this date. So you can only be elected president twice, and then that's it. You can never be elected president again. So anyway, also if you fill in an unexpired presidential term lasting more than 2 years, you are also prohibited from being elected president more than once. I don't know why they did this. Doesn't make any sense because, as we know by now, the president can only run for 2 terms and that's it. He can serve for 2 terms and that's it. But Congress, the federal level, the senators and your congressmen in Washington, D.C., they can run and win until the cows come. They didn't do anything about themselves. States can impose term limits on their state lawmakers, but the federal lawmakers, nah, and they ain't going to do it anytime in the near future. So we're going to tell the president he can only serve 2 terms, but we can serve as long as we want. Nah, 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 nah. And the only way that's going to change, folks, is a constitutional amendment. And believe me, they're in no hurry to do that. It's the bottom of the hour. It's all heavenly birthdays. Today, one of my favorite all-time Supreme Court justices, Hugo Black. Hugo Lafayette Black, born in 1886 in rural Alabama, served for, 32 terms on the Supreme Court of the United States. He believed that the Bill of Rights because the 14th Amendment is applicable to the states. That's always been an issue. Is the Bill of Rights just a federal thing, or does the Bill of Rights apply to the states as well? He said, yes, it does. And he also was a First Amendment absolutionist. We don't have these anymore. He believed that no law meant no law, and he drew a line between speech and conduct, but he said all newspapers, all magazines, all sound recordings, all motion pictures, all books, all pamphlets, it's all protected by the First Amendment, the great Hugo Black. Another heavenly birthday, David Sarnoff, who founded RCA and eventually NBC, one of the titans of network television, born in the state in 1891. He is responsible for what we in the business call Sarnoff's Law, which means that basically the value of a broadcast network is directly proportional to the number of people who are watching it. Sounds pretty simple, but nobody come up with it. Until then, the more people watching your shows, the more valuable the show is. Makes sense to me. And the great John Steinbeck. I have read everything John Steinbeck has ever. He did write a couple of duds, I'll grant you that. But for the most part, almost anything John Steinbeck put to paper is worth reading. He was born in the state in 1902. It's all good stuff. Grapes of Wrath. Read it. Read it twice. Special thanks to Alpine Air for heat and air. Call Alpine Air. They are platinum sponsors here of not only this outstanding and award-winning program, but all of our programming here on the NCW Live channel. Special thanks to our friends at Pool to Spa Services. Time to start thinking about what do you want to do this summer to cool off or heat up in a spa. And don't forget, if you have a spa or a pool, you need chemicals. They got that too. Pool to Spa Services on Worthen Street. And Prestige Senior Living at Colonial Vista, a proud sponsor of the NCW Life channel. All right. When Mike's wife is watching a Mariner game, don't bug her. Mike Minotti's opinion is coming up, and then Carol Andre with the Washington State Special Olympic Winter Games, which is this weekend, will be joining me. The call for volunteers is out. Carol will talk about that and more when we come back. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
Since 1932, Camp Seneca, nestled on the beautiful shores of Lake Wenatchee, has provided children grades 1 through 12 with the ideal location for kids to learn new skills, have fun, and make friends while creating memories that will last a lifetime. Camp Seneca's rustic log cabins and their staff serve to provide each group a unique summer camp experience. Register for Camp Seneca today, www.campfirencw.org.
Check out clubcrowcashmere.com for upcoming events and tickets.
Hi folks, welcome to Save Mart. How can we help you today?
We're looking for a recliner.
Okay, right this way. Go ahead and move this chase on the other side. You can lift this up.
Great, I want that one. I like that one.
That's a great choice.
And I want this one as well.
Okay.
And I definitely want this one.
Ooh. You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog McNutty, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, I love my wife, Rosie. Yes, I do. But her obsession with the Mariners is driving me crazy. I mean, I'm trying to read a book. I'm doing work on the computer. Heaven help me. I'm trying to go to sleep. But she feels the need to update me on every pitch, every strike, every foul ball, every doggone thing that's happening that, frankly, I couldn't care less about. You know, my friends, my buddies, they understand that when God was handing out the sports gene, I stepped out for a beer. Rosie, so somehow equates a shared love of the Mariners as some sort of barometer for our relationship. Now she can disagree with me about Janis Joplin, appropriate toppings on pizza, or my obsession with cop shows, and none of this is any indication that she doesn't love me. But me telling her that I could care less if Julio got a hit or struck out, man, we don't even want to go there. Oh, God, this is Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, and that's my opinion.
When you call Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, you're calling on 35-plus years of experience in the Wenatchee Valley. Spending extra time in your home, you may have discovered an unwanted aroma. Stinky feet, pets, who knows what. Call Dick's today about installing their Train Clean Effects electronic air cleaner or a Rheem Halo ultraviolet air purifier. Either way, the air quality in your home will be improved. Proudly servicing all of North Central Washington, call 884-6444 today. Welcome back to the program. It is back. It's been a Wenatchee Valley tradition for so many years, even I forgot. Carol probably hasn't. The Special Olympics Winter Games, the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd of March, all over North Central Washington, with the exception of Leavenworth. We'll get into that in just a little bit. Mother Nature played a little role in that. Carol Andre is joining us again. So what number is it? Because I forgot right when we started rolling tape.
34. We started
34.
in 90, with the exception of the cancellation during COVID, but It's the 34th year in the Valley.
And this is a huge event in any number of ways. It brings people from all over the state to the Wenatchee Valley for our little 3-day extravaganza. You did a CBO, cost-benefit kind of a setup deal a couple of years ago. You haven't done one in a while. But you have a general idea what this means to the economic health of this valley.
The economic impact 5 years ago was well over $1 million. It was like 1.2 million. I'm sure it's increased since then with inflation and everything. They fill up every hotel in town. Families, volunteers from out of town, officials are all staying in town, are all eating. So all that is a benefit to our valley, in addition to the benefit of having these games here because they're so cool.
They're not tearing down hotels, they're building hotels, and we're still filling them up.
Yeah.
Hotel owners don't build hotels if they don't think there's a market for it. That tells you something right there.
Correct.
So.
Yep, that weekend is a big weekend.
Opening ceremonies will be here on Friday night, as they always are. This place will be packed.
Yep.
But before Friday night, Friday afternoon, as it has been for the last couple of years, a bunch of people who have more guts than I do, right across the street from where we're sitting, are going to do what exactly?
They're going to do the annual polar plunge to benefit Special Olympics Washington, and it's actually a law enforcement-based activity, so lots of first responders, law enforcement, and the general public also, but it's law enforcement-based. It's part of their torch run campaign that they do throughout the year. And
yeah, you jump into the lagoon at Walla Walla Point Park. Water might be a little cold. How do people participate and sign up and be a part of it?
It's really easy. You just go to the Special Olympics Washington website. It's specialolympicswashington.org. Really easy. You'll see it right across the banner. Click on it and sign up. And you can create your fundraising page right there. It's so easy. And then shoot it out to your friends and family. And then you're not walking around going, hey, will you sponsor me kind of thing. They can do it all right there.
And a quick heads up, you don't have to do it. If you want to raise money for the Special Olympics as part of the whole polar plunge thing to benefit all these this great event that's going on, you can donate money and you're not obligated to jump into the Columbia River.
You are not. They say that a plunge can be a toe in the water, whatever. But from someone who's done it many, many years, when everybody's lined up on the beach and they shoot the horn, everybody goes. They go. And some people go in up to their knees and they're like, oh, no, no, and they're turning around. And some people will dive in and just be crazy swimming.
And people wear costumes.
Oh, yeah. Costume contest.
They can really get into it. And it draws a pretty good crowd, too.
It does. It's a lot of fun.
Mostly to watch people get third-degree pneumonia, I suppose. I don't really know. And that was moved. It used to be in mid-February, but now it's on the very first. It's been on the first day of the 3-day weekend.
It kicks off the whole weekend for the Winter Games.
Which is a great idea.
Yeah,
Smart move, I think.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
Friday night opening ceremonies here, the usual extravaganza. Talk about that.
Yeah, so after the polar plunge, law enforcement will go get warm, and then they'll meet up again at the other side of the walking bridge area, and they're going to run a torch into the area, and they're going to light the torch outside the Town Toyota Center, and that torch will be running all weekend. It's just like an Olympic torch. And then during the middle of the games, they'll come into the center, and they'll run in with athletes to light the torch inside during the opening ceremony. So it's pretty cool.
And then all weekend long, again, with the exception of Leavenworth, cross-country skiing, unfortunately, well, Carol will explain, not going to be held this year. Mother Nature ahead of the plans. Yeah,
we usually do it at the Fish Hatchery in Leavenworth, and there's just not enough snow. We also do a snowshoeing exhibition out there, too, so unfortunately that's canceled. Only the second time in all these years that's been canceled.
But there's a new event, which turns out is just exploded in popularity.
Yes.
Cheerleading is now
Cheerleading is a new sport, winter sport for Special Olympics. It started a few years ago, and it's exploding, and it's so fun to watch. It's one of my favorite sports to watch.
The number one reason Carol and I decided to get together here to talk about Special Olympics, nobody's getting paid. Nobody's getting paid a dime to put this on. This is all volunteer. Now I know the service clubs get together and help feed some of the athletes, but you need warm bodies for just about every event, basketball especially. Go ahead.
Yes. So basically, if you want to ski and help out at Mission Ridge, we always need skiers, more specific type of skill there. But there's things like awards and helping make the lunches, helping scorekeep at basketball, helping with the skating venue. There's so many opportunities, helping at opening ceremonies. During the opening ceremony, we literally stage 1,500 athletes and their coaches and chaperones in the corridor for the parade of athletes, just like the Olympic Games. And it takes a whole lot of people to help do that. It's organized chaos, but it's a ton, but it's so much fun. They march in, we have entertainment. It's just like the regular opening ceremony of the Olympics.
And the kids have a ball. You're going to get a big chunk of warm fuzzies going on inside your belly.
I tell people that it's the funnest thing you'll do all year. You'll just walk out of whatever venue you're at with a huge grin on your face, and you'll want to do it again.
Why do you do it every year? I mean, people associate you, even though you have another job, a full-time job. Why do you do this, Carol? I mean, you don't really have to anymore.
I started coaching Special Olympics when I was 16. I worked for City of Renton Parks, and they asked me to help out one day, and I've been involved ever since. It's just one of those organizations that you just kind of get hooked, and it's awesome, and it's fun, and sometimes it's exhausting, but it's always, always rewarding, and a really great experience for everybody. For families, too, not just adults.
And the best part about volunteering, you don't have to be able to do anything. If you show up, you're in. And again, same deal. You can volunteer by going to the website.
Yeah, it's super easy. Just go to SpecialOlympicsWashington.org, click on volunteers and Winter Games, and it'll have a drop down of all 3 days and all the opportunities there are. There's so many different things. If you just want to volunteer to scorekeep at basketball for 4 hours here, you can do it. If you want to do all 3 days, you can do it. If you want to ski, I mean, there's something for everyone.
And what do you get out of it? Right there.
Super fun.
Big, your heart gets about, it goes whoop, like that. It really does. Other things on the agenda while I have Carol here. You got a job opening at your department.
We do.
Yeah, talk about that.
Yeah, it's a rec coordinator position, full-time. It opened last Friday. It'll be open for 2 weeks. It's a short opening. It's our aquatics position, so it's running our big city pool at Pioneer Park. They just had a facelift, so it's got a new liner, new piping, new boiler. It's got a new day going. It's going to be there for a long time. So kind of skill specific in aquatics, and then the rest of the year is helping with rec programs, running sports leagues and events and things in the office.
Why does the Special Olympics in the Wenatchee Valley make such a great marriage? Now, you got to have proximity to cross-country skiing and downhill skiing. You got to have a lot of gymnasiums. We check all of the boxes.
We do.
But there's more to it than that. It's the fact that we've been able to pull it off year after year.
Correct.
Almost without a hitch. That's the number one reason they say we're back.
It initially came here because the location. There was no other place in the state that could do cross-country skiing, alpine skiing, skating, gyms, all within like a 30-mile radius. So that's why it first came here. But after it came here and the embracing from the community, and everybody loved it, and the hoteliers love it, everybody loved it, and our local city was totally on board and supportive, and we just started working that way, and now it's kind of old hat. Everybody loves it. They know their jobs. bring back every year, and it's just a great thing to have.
And the sugar on the ice cream is the facility we're sitting in right now.
Yeah.
It's big enough to hold the opening ceremonies. There is the permanent torch outside. It's being fed by Cascade Natural Gas. You got all the facility, you got everything you need for the opening ceremonies here, and the community rink for the competition. This
was a huge deal when we were able to move into the Town Toyota Center. We literally bounced opening ceremonies around. We were at the old ice arena.
Oh, I remember.
We staged the athletes in the parking lot. We were on the ice. It was freezing. We were all over the place trying to find a big enough spot, and because it kept growing. It kept growing, and it's huge. You know, having 2,500 people, you need big space. So this is perfect.
Volunteers, volunteers, volunteers. Call Carol at her office or go to just type in Washington State Special Olympics. It pops right up. It's a very simple thing. A couple hours here, a couple hours there. The biggest thing of all is the basketball. 700-800 basketball players, 10 gymnasiums. 10 gyms running simultaneously. Right. It's crazy organization, but it works. It does. We just need lots of folks to make it happen. And you're going to do it again next year? Oh, of course. Of course. You just can't stay away, Carol. Carol Andre, everybody, give her a big hand. Give her a big hand. Oh, well, Zamboni driver's done. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the program. Last week, Jeremy Anders, a mutual friend of everybody, I think, gave me a call and said, Dan, you owe me a favor, and I'm calling it in. And I said, well, I don't think I owe you anything, Jeremy, but he keeps track of these things, and I don't. And Jeremy said, well, I love Jeremy. Everybody loves Jeremy. I said, what can I do for you? And he said, the school that my kids go to, we need a little love on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. And I said, Jeremy, anything for you, because I can't say no to this guy. Jeremy Anders, everybody knows this guy. Introduce your friend to your right there.
This is Brooke Hinton. She is the executive director of Joyful Scholars Montessori School here. And it's a great school. My kids have gone here for a long time, and they're needing some help right now, and so trying to get the word out in the community to get them some help as much as we can.
Well, let's give them some love right off the top. You have a lot of kids. I think most people know. Jeremy's got a lot of kids. Yeah. And you could send them anywhere. You could send them to public school. You can send them to other private schools. They're all great. They're all highly accredited. You chose here. You and your family got together and said, this is where I want my kids to learn. Why?
Yeah, so we have 7 kids that have all attended Joyful Scholars. You know, we've had our kids in public school for that. They've had some struggles over the time for that. Some of our kids are considered special needs that have some stuff. And just the atmosphere at Joyful Scholars, we've had at least one of our kids have been in this school since 2018. And then so as they've kind of progressed in, we've now have all of them in here. So we have, as our oldest is in 8th grade, which is called JSMAC, and then our youngest was actually in the daycare here until it closed with that, but she'll be back here pretty soon as well. So we have, you know, we love the school, we love the teachers, we love the staff, love the kids. It's a great school. It's different. I mean, especially in this new building has made a lot of great things happen for them too, that, you know, they get to really be close to, they pretty much have Walla Walla Point Park as their big playground area. They're close to the nature trail. You know, they really get to be out and experience stuff. And it's just different. It's really has helped them progress. I mean, some of our kids have had some struggles in life like that, and they really do well here.
Does a lot of that, Brooke, have to do with the teacher to student ratio? I know it's very low, and that's part of the whole Montessori theory that they bring to education. Is that really a critical component, that one-on-one?
I think it helps, but it's not just the staff to student ratio. It's that they're in a cohort, so they get to stay with the same teacher for 3 years at a time, which really gives teachers a chance to get to know the kids and develop a really strong relationship and support. I think that's probably the biggest difference.
Well, I think most people are familiar with the concept of the Montessori school, for those of you who aren't, and it's really hard to explain in a short interview, but give me a basic umbrella idea of a concept that goes back, what, 150 years, longer than that maybe?
Yeah. The idea is based on meeting a child where they're at and letting them kind of be the guide in terms of what their interests are and how they're learning, and being able to support them through this educational journey that they take. And that means having a prepared environment, lots of materials for them to take the lead on, letting them excel in the areas that they can, and supporting them in the areas without penalizing them in areas where they need that little bit of extra support.
And Jeremy, obviously it's worked out good for your family. in
Yeah,
that respect.
Our kids have done great here. I mean, our kids they struggled with the kind of the standard educational stuff in public schools about that. But it's very hands-on here. I look back over there, see like the number beads. Like our kids, they understand it. It's really like they're visual learners about that. And we have some of our kids are on a higher level, overachievers for that, and some of our kids are kind of struggled, and so they kind of, like she said, they got to meet where they need to be at, and they kind of help them go along. And we've seen some really big advancements in some of our kids that were struggling before, but now they've done well here. And like I said, it's really cool because and the interaction between the younger kids to the older kids, they're all in one building here at the Wenatchee campus, and you have all the way from 3-year-olds all the way up to seniors in high school. And they cross over a lot with a lot of stuff they do. They get to know each other, so it's a really close family feel here among the teachers and the students.
And you have a new campus. Goodfellow Brothers,
Yep.
of course, moved to downtown Wenatchee. They vacated their old office building right here by Walla Walla Point Park, as Jeremy mentioned, right across the street from Bluebird and the Town Toyota Center. You got some room to spread out. It's a nice place.
It's a fabulous location, the proximity to the park and the trails, like Jeremy was saying, and then just lots of room for everybody to be in their classrooms, but all of us to still be in one particular campus.
So everybody's watching the show, they're watching the interviews. Is this just a big love fest for Joyful? Well, yeah, it is, but we're here for a secondary reason, which is the primary reason that Jeremy called me. We have to address the elephant in the room. Checkbook's running a little low. Trying to think of the best way to put that. You're in a bit of a financial bind. Some of it was out of your control. Some of it kind of just happened. You want to address that, Brooke, and be honest if you can with our audience.
We're absolutely in what we call a financial crisis. The operating budget for the year had already been spent. So it's a weird position to be in when next year looks good because you have families coming back and tuition coming in, but the grocery money for this year has already been spent. The building remodel was definitely difficult. It went much longer than anticipated. Supply chain issues, costs definitely were more than were anticipated as well.
I suppose COVID played a...
COVID, not to blame everything on COVID, but yeah, that definitely didn't help us in terms of labor and supplies. And so that was a huge hit to our reserves and our budget.
And
beyond what we anticipated.
There's only so much that tuition and parent donations, both in time and money, there's only so much that can cover.
Right. As a private school, we don't qualify for all of the state funding that the public schools get or the charter schools. And because we aren't affiliated with any of the local churches, we also miss out on that particular revenue stream. So we're completely based off of either donations, grants, and the tuition that comes in from our families.
How acute is this crisis? Because it's February and you're out of dough and the school year goes, and you guys are year round.
We're on a modified year and we'll go until the end of June and then we'll start back up the beginning of August.
So that's not, summer vacation is like 6 weeks. That's it. Yeah. So you got to make you're going to have to slice the bread pretty thin.
Yes.
So how do we help?
Well, we've got a campaign going right now. It's on givebutter.com, Joyful Scholars. That's kind of our capital campaign, trying to build those reserves back up again and make sure that we're meeting our operating costs. We've got a Domino's takeover pizza night for fundraising. That'll be February 29th. That's the Wenatchee's Domino's. Anything that's ordered online or in person, they donate 30% to Joyful Scholars, so we really thank them for that. And then Stone's Gastropub is doing a benevolent night for us March 6th. That's a Wednesday from 3 to 8, and it's $2 of every starter, cocktail, or glass of wine comes to Joyful Scholars. So we're working on these different community outreach events, trying to raise awareness and make it a little fun. We just did a bingo night or bingo day that was really successful, and that was a lot of fun for families.
So kudos to first of all to Domino's and Stone's Gastropub, because it's easier to say no than it is to say yes. And by the way, Stone's, have you eaten there? Mm-hmm. Oh, it's good food. It's really good food. How's morale with the teachers knowing that this is going on? Because they got to come in here and they got to slap that smile and let's learn, kids. Are they doing okay?
We have the most amazing staff. Everyone has been here for many years. We're close-knit. We have good relationships with an amazing community of families and our kids. They're making it work. They're on board for the long haul. They come in early, they stay late, they put in the extra time because they love this school. They love our families, and they love what they do, and they want to see it succeed.
And if you look at the parking lot, it's not full of Mercedes-Benzes and Volvos and Bentleys.
Yeah.
They're not doing it for the money. They're doing it for the love.
No.
Yeah.
No teacher does it for the money.
That's good.
That's just education in
teacher
general.
write that down.
No teacher does it for the money.
Jeremy?
Yeah.
Jeremy, from a parent's perspective, we talked about how your kids, you're obviously very happy or the kids wouldn't still be here. Parents kind of the same kind of deal with the teachers. We're all in this together, so let's...
Yeah, I mean, I think when it was kind of brought attention, there's been a lot of stuff. Like we had the fundraiser that was huge that we put on a couple weeks ago with the bingo fundraiser, and we raised a few $1,000s there, and I think everybody got on board. They got extra families involved with that. Everybody wants the school to make it through, and from what I understand is, if we can get the fundraising going through to help us through the end of June, we should be good to go for next year. And so, we just have these last 3-4 months to try to just get some more money coming to the school. I mean, they're a nonprofit, and they're not a for-profit thing. They're a nonprofit that relies on fundraising, tuitions like that, and so we're trying to get some extra fundraisers out there, and it's been full force. There's quite a few parents who are just really dedicated to wanting to make sure that we get through the end of the school years like that, and there's a lot of kids who've gone here for a long time. I mean, it's a very important school like that, and there's a lot of kids like my kids who some had struggled in public school, and this is where they have found their place to strive. Sometimes, I mean, I have nothing against public school. I think public school is a great place for some kids, but some kids have their struggles here, and Montessori school is really helpful for some of those other kids to really find their way to strive. And so we need to have places like this. There's some other great private schools in the area, and this is one that really thrives on community support and parent support, and so that's what we need right now.
Joyful Scholars is the name of the school. That should tell you everything you need to know right there, right?
Yeah. Of course.
It's not called Scholars. Anything else we could do to help? I mean, hopefully we get you through the hump. It sounds like this next 4 months are critical. The last thing we want to do is have to come back here 4 more months and help you guys out. We'll do it if you need it. We're all over it because, again, I owe Jeremy apparently a bunch of favors.
There's a lot of favors, actually.
A lot of favors. Once again, on Leap Day, the 29th, is the special Domino's thing. So, and on March 6th at Stone's Gastropub, go down there, eat, drink, be merry. And they're going to take care of you there. And any other things that we have coming up that we need to know about?
All that information is on our Facebook page, so if people want to go to that, and then anything that'll be upcoming will also be posted there and put out.
Last question for you, Brooke. Maybe there's parents out there. I got a 6, 7, 8-year-old. I think I can do better. Maybe I want to give these folks a try. How do they go about doing that?
You can go ahead and give us a shout. Email is the best way. info@joyfulscholars.org. We actually will open enrollment in March, and so for new students and returning students, that's the time to enroll. Schedule a visit, come down, meet us. That's what it's all about.
How's Jeremy as a parent? Pretty good?
He's all right.
Okay, he's okay. We like Jeremy. He's all right. He's a big, lovable guy.
He is. They're a great family. We're lucky to have them.
The class act all the way.
Yes.
Class act all the way.
Agreed.
And you're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, and we will be right back.
The day after I met her, I called and asked her to go on a date with me, and we came to Abby's Pizza for our first date.
Eating it across from each other, I'll never forget it. This place is special.
It's barbecue chicken pizza season at Abby's Legendary Pizza, baby. Featuring our flavorful pizza sauce and a 3-cheese blend, layered with BBQ sauce, chicken, and onions. Order your hot and fresh feast now at abbys.com. A legendary pizza tradition.
Well, the days may be getting longer, but it sure takes a long time for that thermostat to get going. Is that correct? Yeah. It was 28 when the show started. It's still 28. And we're having more sunshine than originally predicted, but now we're getting close to 11 hours of daylight, and we're not expecting really a great deal of sunshine today. And a lot of snow in the mountains from the National Weather Service. One more look at your forecast. 40. Our forecast high today, mixture of clouds and sun. By the end of the day, the clouds are going to have the upper hand. Can't rule out a raindrop or two. Little bit of a wind. Today, that 40-degree mark for the forecast high is below normal, as you might imagine. Right around 32 for the overnight low tonight. The big story tonight, it's going to start tonight, and basically starting tonight all the way through Friday, I'm not making this up, it's going to snow in the mountains. It's going to snow a lot in the Cascades starting tonight and basically nonstop all the way till Friday morning, so quick heads up there. No real snow in the Wenatchee Valley, although the temperature is going to be cold enough for the overnight lows to snow. There's no real precipitation associated with that, probably rain and temperatures all over the board. That's it for us. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
I couldn't ever read, write, talk, or anything.
Join us on a campus dedicated to some very special students as we follow them from the classroom to graduation day and into the working world.
Nice job, Sash. Very good.
Their inspirational journey to exceed everyone's expectations, including their own.
Let me guess, you didn't need as much help as you thought you did.
Yes.